Brookfield Police! Brookfield Police!
Oh.
Christy!
I was supposed to attacked her.
And I'm fucking terrified to bring my children.
Show your hands!
On November 7th, 2023, 43-year-old Chris Steele Krug sat across from Detective Andrew Martinez to talk about something so serious she couldn't breathe without looking over her shoulder. She was being stalked by her ex-boyfriend Anthony from high school, and it was getting dangerous.
Okay.
Deep breaths.
Yes, I
Deep
know.
breaths.
Yes, it's been a little herring.
Yes.
I gotta say, for the most part, anything that I had interactions before, I have never dealt with like this kind of level in like a online version. And I think to myself of like advice that I give to my kids, I'm like, watch out for online people. And I'm like, this is exhausting. This is real. Like, I can't believe like any kids would be dealing with stuff like this that comes from all directions at any time.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot, and it has definitely made me like paranoid everywhere I go, unfortunately. So
Yeah. No, I can completely understand that.
yeah. Oh, and I keep trying to remind myself this is intending to be terrorizing. This is intending to scare me. So like I'm like, okay, take it back.
Yeah.
Take it back.
The
Yeah.
intention to make your life miserable and cause disruption and
Yes.
some sort of emotional turmoil is
Yes.
exactly what he's going for.
Yes.
Detective Martinez was all ears, but he also wanted Chris Steele to be aware of how slow the law can be when getting to someone like Anthony.
Generally speaking, when there's a lot of computer stuff, that's a lot of additional like legal paperwork that I need to submit, mostly through search warrants to be served to like Google, different cell phone carriers, stuff like that, just to try to collect all of that online data.
Yeah.
I will tell you, for every court order I write, I don't want to give you false hope on the timeline, but
I expect this to take a while.
it's like 4 or 6 weeks before I get any bit of return information. So the process goes, I type it up, and that is very quick.
Yeah.
And then it has to get reviewed by the district attorney's office, and then it has to get reviewed by a judge, and then I submit it to whatever company or corporation it goes to.
Sure.
And they, by Colorado law, they have 14 days to respond. However, they kind of do whatever the heck they want.
Sure.
So usually we get a result and records returned in about 30 to 35 days on average, but it's not outside of the scope to be 6-8 weeks.
Little did they know, Chris Steele wouldn't have that much time.
And who all lives in the home with you?
My husband and my 3 children.
Chris Steele worked from home as a project manager, while her husband, 44-year-old Daniel Krug, worked for the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. So she was home for most of the day, putting her security at risk. But even when Chris Steele was being targeted, she was prepared.
All right. And so I'm just going to kind of let you start from the beginning of when you first met, kind of go all the way through, and
You're going to get the engineering project manager, so I have to wait this out.
this
So-
makes it so much simpler. I'll tell you what.
Okay, I did a timeline for you.
Okay.
Okay, and in this timeline, we dated summer of '99,
Okay.
very briefly. Like there was a breakup somewhere here, like in the fall. So I do this kind of like also, but you can see like way over there.
Yeah.
Last contact I ever had with him, where he tried to reach out to me personally, saw him in person, would have been like in the spring of 2001. Everything here you're going to see in question marks because I'm like, about? I'm just trying to remember like where I was living and where I had kids at the time. So I put everything in green where they're like, just like little teeny things. It's like, oh, hey, how you doing? Found me on old information. So it's public information. Technically, I can't say that like he found me in a special way.
Yeah.
But it was years later, right, that he
Okay.
came back with a quick email trying to check in. And these events here last maybe like within a period of a couple weeks. Usually it's a handful of email messages. Usually it's just like light, easy, like
Okay,
what's
how
going
you-
on.
yeah.
Yeah, like trying to just kind of start a conversation, but it's all light, cordial, whatever. And every single time he would contact me, I know it was about here. Now this is where things get like maybe plus or minus like a year. That one could have been. Where it became alarming, and again, I'm trying to remember where I was, because it was via a Facebook Messenger app. So like these are both emails, old emails. This is like a Facebook Messenger app, and then this one's also a Facebook Messenger app. This one got really weirdly obsessive. So same kind of thing where like common little teeny little messages, and then after just a period of few messages, he's like, "Oh, my family's so happy we're talking again." I'm like, "What?
We're not talking.
This is not a
Yeah.
relationship." And then like he'd send me snippets of like saying he thought our relationship was like the Notebook, and that we'd always end up together. I'm like, "Whoa, this is getting really weird, right?"
At what point did you get married?
So I met my husband all the way here in the summer of 2001, and then we were together all the way through college, and then I got married in 2007. I'm still married since.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to get as to
Yeah, no problem.
would he have known that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he did. Like here, he says, "Let's get together." I'm like, "No." Here he says, "Let's get together." I'm like, I have a serious boyfriend. Like we were living together at this time, and he's like, "Screw your boyfriend." And then I got married in 2007. He's reaching out to me. He can see I have a kid. This is my profile picture of like my kid, and I'm like, I have a family. No, and then again, where I'm like, I'm married with children, all the way here. So.
Firstborn, right?
Firstborn is 2009.
Oh, firstborn.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of like, I know he contacted me around there because he saw pictures of when I had a little baby. I had a really cute dog at the time, and we had conversations about that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to correlate
Yeah, no
big
problem.
life events that might be on the internet that you see to
Like gauge
Spur
that,
reference,
yeah. What is important is that it started October 2nd and 3rd. Let's see. These things, unfortunately, and I apologize because one of these is going to get really graphic.
Sorry.
But this was the first day of contacting me. Again, this was the type of message that I always got before.
Okay.
The only thing that was really alarming about this one was I was like, "What do you mean you looked me up?" And I immediately got a sense of this something is not, especially after this last interaction where I'm like, you're pretty delusional and you're coming out again of the woodworks and now going above and beyond to really find me. And then when I didn't respond, and you'll see, so this is on Monday at 1, and when I don't respond, then immediately the next day it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Right? And then, okay, so I got alarmed, and you'll see it in the text message. All I did was I was like, "Oh, we're going to create a stalker log. We're going to monitor this. I'm going to go see what information I can have. Is this even his number?" I don't know. I just always heard document everything.
Yes, because a lot of times I have to sit down with people and recreate this. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
so you're
no.
on top of it. Because a lot of times people don't think of it and then organize it in such an easy way. So I really appreciate
Yeah,
this.
this is a fake number, though. This is not registered to anybody, and it's a total fake number. So anyway, that made me go, is this his number? Where is he right now? What kind of car is he like? This was alarming. He's never said this kind of stuff to me before, so whatever. And the fact that it went so emotional is like something's really wrong here.
Yeah.
Then things go dark, right? And this is when I then contact you guys because this now is escalating. This is not just threats against me, it's threats against my husband. He contacts me, and you'll see my little log that this is an email address he contacts me now from more like he actually reuses it. But he is now showing that picture that day. There's snow on the ground. My husband had only gone into work on that Tuesday for Halloween. Fortunately, even though my husband has a camera in his car, he did not see anybody.
Sure.
And then unfortunately lost all the video because he didn't save it. So
This is the point when Anthony went past just stalking Christelle to threatening her husband's life if she didn't reciprocate his advances. That's what made her finally contact the police. Her stalker was planning something, but there was something strange about the photos Christelle was receiving.
Like from a distance, it looks like similar build like what he used to have.
From when he was.
Yeah, I feel like this has got to be an old like Facebook picture. So both this pic and the other pic have no metadata. It's all like scrubbed.
Yeah.
And they're both really super small files. So versus like the one original one that he sent me was like a full blown like 2 meg level file, right?
This one?
This one. That was clearly like an original. None of those are original, or they've been totally scrubbed.
Okay.
I did get the full-blown report from the PI. I just printed the whole thing. I do have this electronic as well if you want it, but this is a full-blown thing from this guy called Trailfinders that did the full search. The one good thing with this is that this is definitely registered to him for a mobile number and like confirmed recently. So he's marking it down as like 100% that is his real phone number. The problem, and you'll see this in this report, there are tons of phone numbers associated with him. There are tons of addresses. He moves everywhere and between like 3 different states.
And this is my copy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the type of detailed report detectives usually have to put together on their own. But in this case, Christelle did all of it for them. On a personal level, she was in the process of getting a registered gun. She had taken several steps to ensure her and her family's safety.
I have notified my employer just to be aware that I have a situation that's unfolding right now and like I need to take some time off work.
Yeah.
Just so like for me personally, I have because I'm running my kids everywhere all the time, especially because my oldest is in the Boulder Ballet Nutcracker and I'm there volunteering so this late at night and we're out at the dairy center. So I do have a buddy system now. A few of the parents there know what's going on and making sure I've got a buddy system. So
Perfect.
Again, it's like I have to go all the way back to the college days and like do all the things that I used to do back then. So
Absolutely. And then, like share your location, stuff like that.
Yes.
Like just the little things.
Okay.
The one thing I'll tell you is 2 books I always recommend for folks that are kind of in these situations that give a lot of insight and some comfort. And I try to go back and read these books at least once a year just to kind of refresh my memory. But one is The Gift of Fear by Gavin DeBecker. He very much talks a lot about stalker ideology and psychology behind it. And then one is When Violence is the Answer by Tim Larkin. Again, both of these guys have huge experience in stalking and, like when to defend yourself. And it frames all of these kind of topics in a way to where it's not to make you overly paranoid and hypervigilant, but just enough to build your mindset.
Yes.
And one thing I always impart, when you feel that if you need to defend yourself, you want to maximize injury, escape, and call 911. Like, those are the biggest things that you want to do if you're ever in that position.
Okay.
And like I said, from law enforcement, that's different because we try to minimize injury when we're trying to deal with people, but from a private person, you want to hurt them.
Yeah.
And run.
Christelle walked out of that interview room feeling a little lighter, but she didn't know she just put a timer on her own life. Detective Martinez spoke to Christelle's husband, Daniel, and told him to take measures to keep the home as safe as possible.
My brother, Matthew, is a cop, so I have a retractable ASP steel baton.
Yeah.
As I said, not right now, but otherwise, it's on me all the time. I sleep with it next to me. Pepper, gel, spray, always in this pocket, ASPO's in this one. I've bought some additional security cameras for the house. I'm trying to figure out where to put them up because we have multiple blind spots and it's just tough to figure out the right place. But those arrived last night. I hope to get them up, if not tonight, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And largely I've been focused on her and the kids since Monday in particular. I think it was you who sent the Glendale police to my office. And then I just, as soon as they had finished talking to me and looked around, I just got the hell out of there. And I've been holed up at the house.
Yeah.
I went to the grocery store briefly on Tuesday. And someone behind me dropped a can, and I panicked.
No.
So what am I doing? I'm panicking. And I'm doing a job of protecting my wife. So I'm not doing good.
Yeah, I can see that.
This situation was taking a toll on the family as a whole, and this was before any physical contact was made. All that changed a few days later when the stalker tried to break into the Krug residence.
I'm Officer Chauncey.
I'm Dan.
Nice to meet you.
Johnson, nice to meet you.
That sounds like 450s with dispatch then? Okay.
Yeah, so I ran out at 4:15, 4:20.
Okay.
So I left. I watched the garage door closing,
Okay.
not necessarily closed.
Sure. Okay.
My wife drove that point home on me. Ran up to the store. I came back about 4:50, 4:55.
Okay.
As I came down, the door was open.
The bigger one or the
yeah,
third?
The double bay
Got it.
door.
Okay.
So as I pulled in, I saw someone. I think it was a guy, but it was so fast.
Yeah.
Blue jeans, gray shirt, run out, jump over my gate,
Okay.
and take off that way.
Got it. Okay.
I cared less about following him than getting inside and checking on my kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
My daughter is adamant no one came in the house.
Okay.
She never heard the garage door open. She was in the living room right next to it.
Okay.
My wife and I tested her, and I opened and closed the garage door, and she couldn't hear it over the TV anyway.
Okay. Got it.
I don't know if whoever it was opened the door or not to go
Right.
in. She was right there. It would have been loud
Yeah,
inside.
she would have heard. Okay.
I didn't think to call you until my wife got home recently, and we realized the spare key that we keep in the garage isn't there.
Okay. Where was that kept at?
Toolbox.
Got it. Okay. Did you notice any tools or anything missing? That's a pretty common item. No.
No.
Okay.
It's all basic
Yeah.
tools anyway, nothing fancy.
Sure.
No tools missing. The bikes are all hanging on the wall still.
Okay.
None of those are gone.
Got it.
Skis are in there, golf clubs. Everything seems to be there
Okay.
except a spare key.
The house key. Okay.
Their cameras caught nothing, but Christelle got a text confirming it was the stalker. This incident made them a lot more concerned, but nothing could have prepared their family for what was going to happen on December 14th, 2023.
Brookfield Dispatcher speaking.
Hi there. My name is Dan Krug. I don't think this is an emergency, but this feels really weird.
Okay.
My wife isn't responding to text messages or phone calls.
Okay.
And we've had threats against us. She was supposed to meet with Detective Martinez today, but I can't get a hold of him. Can I get either someone in the house to check in with Martinez, or maybe both, maybe a wellness check at the house?
The first responding officer, Officer O'Hare, got there within minutes of the call, hoping to find Christelle busy on a work call. Unable to hear anything but their dog barking from inside, Officer O'Hare moved his car to be able to peek through the garage. But he had no idea of the severity of what he was about to find.
151, send medical, and 110. I need a 4th Sentry. I got a female down in the garage.
I copy. Just like that.
Broomfield Police! Broomfield Police!
Holy.
The officer found Chris Steele, but she was unconscious.
Christy! 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 $151. Female has some sort of head wound. She is warm. I'm on CPR.
Copy. Starting CPR 429.
$151. Let me know when the next unit is close, and I'll open the garage door, particularly medical.
Copy.
151.
151.
Go ahead and send the next unit emergent, please. I need to clear this house. I'm not sure what this head wound is right now.
Copy. I have 3 units coming your way.
And they copy emergent for 1 at least. Garage is open now. Hello, ma'am. I need you to stay out, please. Next unit in, interrupt this apparent relative that's on scene, please. I need to tag out, man. She's got a head wound. I don't know if it's from falling or something else, but probably falling, but I don't know, man. It's a good one. Husband said there was a stalker threatening to kidnap her, so I don't know. No, she's unresponsive. Decent head wound.
Where we have more room at the
I'll be right back, guys. I'm just going to the car here. RP husband was en route, so you could just run interference out there, please. We're going to clear the house. Medics are in the garage. Good. We got you.
Broomfield Police, anybody inside? Make yourself known.
One coming in the front door. We got you, man. You steer.
Broomfield Police, anybody inside? Broomfield Police, third and final warning, anybody inside? Alright, move up to you got the stairs walker? Alright.
I got a couple rooms to the left over here. Let me know when you're coming around. The RP said there was a stalker threatening kidnapping, so just heads up on that. You got my left?
Broomfield Police.
Clear here, coming out. I don't know what that other door is. Closet.
Broomfield Police.
Coming back out. CPR being done in the garage. She's got a good head wound. I think it's from falling down, but I'm going to reevaluate that right now. I don't know the history. I just saw the call notes, so we'll talk later. Bye. You guys good if I close that, or do you want it open for now? Just for looky-loos. I got it up here, man. We had an old lady, I don't know if it's your mom or what. Hey, man. You guys just run interference, 1 or 2 out front, decide if we can clear 1 or 2. Oh, I didn't see a basement. All right, my bad.
All right, guys. Okay, keep going. I can call it back.
Guys, you see anything other than a fall type of wound?
Look at this. What's that? Yeah, just.
Oh,
Yep, that's a stab wound.
There was no sign of an attacker in the house. Chris Steele had a significant head wound and a stab wound to her chest. She also had her gun on her, but it hadn't been used. The medics were still working on her, and while Daniel was on his way, Chris Steele's mother, Linda, was already on the scene.
Ma'am! I need you to come over here for a minute, okay? So we can work. I understand. I need you to come on over here, okay?
Okay.
I know. You're doing me a favor. Do you live nearby?
15 minutes away.
About 20-15. Where is your car?
It's right there.
Okay. Do me a favor. Go and sit inside so we can work on her, okay? So we can try to get her the help, okay? What's your name?
Linda.
Linda?
Yeah.
Okay. My name's Officer Zamora, okay? I'll come out here and I'll give you some news as soon as I can.
Please tell me she's okay.
I have no idea just yet, but I know that they're working on her. The officer in there has been working CPR on her. And I think she's doing okay,
My
okay?
husband called.
He did. He's the one that called us and let us know, okay? Go ahead, take a seat for a minute. I'll be right back here, okay? I need to move my car.
Chris Steele's father, Lars Grimsrud, arrived at the house along with the rest of the family. None of them could believe that the stalking would take such a violent turn.
Hey, this guy said, what did he do to her? So.
But it wasn't until Daniel got there that the family finally received the news about Chris Steele. She'd succumbed to her injuries.
No.
Did you guys start together?
Questions right now. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of answers for you. What you want to do right now. It's too many integrity, investigation, find out what you did, and we're going to count on the future, okay? So, along those lines, I know it seems like a long time, but it's no time like now. We'd like to set the search resident so we can do our investigation and get them those steps.
Yes, go.
Do you understand what I'm asking you to do?
No, but go. I'm sorry.
Looking outside, something leave me over there. Give me a little lead car over there.
I gotta take care of the kids. like me. Chris,
Fire was covered with a fire extinguisher. There are no flames seen after that. Looks like flames were from the light fixture. 111, can you break the cover?
Lorelei or Ella? Lorelei? So like Lorelei.
She has to go. She'll panic. It was her show. She has to go. I didn't protect her. I was supposed to protect her.
Let them know about what happened. We're not going to say nobody says anything. We're just going to tell her that we don't tell. This is a family matter. We're just going to figure out a reunification. Let's take care of it.
Daniel was beside himself, so Christile's sister-in-law had to step in to pick up the 3 Krug children from school and give them the news before they heard it from someone else.
If I were in your shoes, I would, because we're going to call their school resource officers here.
Okay.
Because they responded to this call, because they're close. I would go and see if you can just get them out of school.
Okay.
And then,
Can figure out what to tell them.
yeah, I'm sorry you have to think about that.
Trying to be the strong one in the family at the moment.
We can.
I'm gonna try to comfort my.
Sure, we can have an officer go with you if that helps or hurts, because unfortunately we have more practice, so we can do the talking, you can do the comforting. Well, however, I mean, we're here to help any way that we can. I know it's ridiculously impossible right now, but.
Back at the crime scene, the officers noticed something alarming.
The first thing I noticed, I pulled my car around to the garage just to see if her car was in the garage. And I immediately saw her at the base of the stairs, blood smear on the wall. And I came around and booted the front door. Turns out it wasn't locked. There's also a piece of masking tape over the Ring camera, almost like somebody approached from the side and taped it.
Yeah.
And then maybe she opened the door for somebody. So first thing I noticed was an obvious head wound. I don't know if that's from a weapon or from the fall.
Okay.
Started CPR, she's still warm. They noticed after tearing the shirt and everything off, she had a good stab wound right there. So that's what we got.
Not only that, but a thorough search of the house showed that the cameras Daniel told Detective Martinez he was going to install were there. But somehow, most of them were not turned on at the time of the attack. Just like the first break-in, the trespasser took nothing this time either. He was only there to hurt Christile. With no active cameras in the area and Anthony's current location and phone number untraceable, the detectives were back to square one. The only ones who could give any insight into what could have happened here were the people closest to Christile. Detective Martinez spoke to everyone, starting with Dan.
We just now need to talk about your rights so we can proceed with getting the answers that we both want.
Yeah. I have 2 different voices going through my head right now. I have my brother Matthew. Yeah, I've mentioned him. He's the sheriff's lieutenant. And I have his voice saying, talk to the police. And in typical cop fashion, he married a prosecutor. So I have Lynn's voice in my head going, get a lawyer. I just want this to be done.
This is not a slow process, and I apologize for that. Sign those. I certainly appreciate that.
All we're trying to do is get a full picture of everything that has happened, and you know, our job is to seek the truth, and that's all we're trying to do. And we appreciate and need your help in doing that, 100%.
One of the things that I would like to kind of go over, if you don't mind, is just the 24 hours before you left for work this morning. Oh, dear God.
24 hours before I left for work.
So your last 25 or 24 hours with, is it Christille?
Christille.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you woke up Tuesday morning. Or I guess
Wednesday morning, sorry. We're all confused.
Yeah. Mornings are very routine in the house. Most of us have our alarms. We get up at about the same time. Yesterday was Wednesday. So on Wednesdays, doesn't take the bus. She rides with either me or Christine. So, Wednesday. Okay. I got up at my usual time, somewhere between 5:40 and 6. Got myself ready, like I always do, shower, get dressed. I had an advisory council meeting that I was facilitating at work. So, once a month on Wednesdays, it's my early day. So I got up Wednesday, got myself ready, and then Christille and I split up responsibilities. She packs lunches while I get the kids breakfast and dressed. So get clothes for me, get breakfast, get yourself ready, and then I have food for her downstairs. Every day, same routine. She packs the lunches, I do water bottles and snacks, I pack the backpacks while she gets herself showered or dressed. And then we all leave within usually a few minutes of each other. Thursday, regular school schedule. So got up at about the same time that I always do. Same routine. I feed, and then I get them dressed. I prep food for, while Christille packs lunches. I pack the backpacks while she gets ready. Then I went to the bus stop today because it was cold. Then I went home. Helped get their coats on, got them in Christille's car. She left to take them to I got the dog in the kennel. The dog. There's a dog in the kennel. I have no idea how many hours he's been in there. Okay. I came out after Christille had come home. I was pulling on my coat while she was in the kitchen. We had a brief interaction about, I told her Pixel was in the kennel. She asked why I was still there, if I was working from home today. I said no, I was just running late. And she was telling me that I had to get going. Which is weird, she doesn't usually care what time I leave. Cares what time I come home. So she was in the kitchen with
I'm sorry.
some energy drink. I said goodbye and I left. I drove into the office. While I was driving, my phone dinged because I left late. Phone dinged with that message that I already sent you, her asking me to get I couldn't read it right away because I was driving. I don't remember if I responded at a traffic light or when I parked.
Yeah.
But I responded. I parked at the office. I went inside. Chatted with a couple of coworkers. I had my meeting with the analyst Riley about a project we're working on. Gave him a whole bunch of to-do items. And before and after that meeting is when I tried texting Christelle because I remembered her saying to her, sorry, the message that she sent me asked if I could pick up. I said something to the effect of yes. I said something else, I don't remember what. And so I think it was before my meeting with Riley, I texted her asking what time I had to pick up. Because it wasn't the usual school time, which would have been 3:10. She had dress rehearsal at 4. And she didn't answer. Big whoop. I didn't know if she was meeting with you or if she had another meeting for work. I finished my meeting with Riley, and I still didn't have an answer. So I contacted her again, and I realized I didn't have any read receipts. And that was weird. She didn't confirm anything about the read receipts weren't on, and that's when I tried contacting you again. And I started getting really antsy at that point, and that's when I called the non-emergency line. Well, I tried calling Christelle at home. I tried calling the house phone. Nothing. That's when I got antsy. And I called you first. You didn't answer. I called the non-emergency line. I babbled a lot. I feel sorry for your dispatcher. After I hung up with your dispatcher, I was still feeling really antsy. I was trying to finish an email so I could get out of the office. I called Linda and asked Linda to swing by the house because she lives much closer than where I work. She went. I fired off what I needed to. I got in the car and she called while I was driving saying that somebody, I don't know if she said the officers or the EMTs were doing CPR on Christelle. The rest of my drive is kind of a blur. I just remember I was driving really, really fast. I told her I wanted counseling. She said no.
And when was that? Sort of ultimatum. Long time ago?
Months.
Okay.
We live together. We have joint finances. We obviously co-parent the kids. We do maintain separate bedrooms. That's kind of where we are in the ebb and flow of the relationship.
Okay.
So that it's tough enough to say this. Just let me get it out.
Sure.
So other than talking about the kids, there hasn't been a lot of dialogue for a little while. I can't put a time frame on it. It hurt me that she didn't tell me about the stalker when it started, but she brought me in right away once he sent her a picture of me. I think that was Halloween.
Okay.
So she told me the next day, and I was definitely hurt and angry that she was keeping that as a secret. She said that she had been confiding in her brother Lars. And so.
Did she ever tell you why she didn't tell you that?
Because she and I were not in a good and healthy place. Well, another phrase I should say. So she was confiding more in him. As once she told me, I wanted access to her logs. I wanted to know what the conversations were with Martinez. And at that point, she brought me fully up to speed, and I saw the horrible messages. I saw the ad, all that crap. And that's when she and I started working on game plans. Again, what do we do to protect family, to protect the kids? Define your threat level. So that we had a clear plan of attack. We could just say, we're at nuclear, that's a full lockdown, here's what it means. We're at red, here's what that means.
And the kids were kind of involved in that too, because you kind of shared a little bit with that the kids were somewhat aware of what was going on. But
they had to know enough to be cautious.
Daniel was still in shock, but the detectives noticed something odd in his story.
I mean, it sounds like you feel like you were completely, I don't know, written off by her, or that she had zero care for you anymore.
I don't want a divorce.
Okay.
I have loved her for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I was hurting when I said that, and what I wanted was her to say she cared about me. She didn't. And she was ready for a divorce. So we talked about how do you divvy up the assets. We own 2 houses. On its face, that should be easy. We're both on both mortgages. That's a pain in the ass. So we were talking through how do you start to do that? And so I would say it was as amicable as it could be for 2 people who may or may not have really wanted it.
Okay. But you were just in talking stages. There wasn't any paperwork. There wasn't any anything going on. Now, what about, and I don't want to, open an even bigger wound, but do you think there was any infidelity going on, on either side? Were you, seeing someone else? Was she seeing someone else?
Me? Absolutely not. No, I have remained completely faithful to her since our very first summer together.
This gave them enough insight into Dan's mind, but there was still one more avenue they needed to cover.
So what, can I just ask, what do you think happened today with Christine? What do you think? What's your theory?
I don't know.
Well, you gotta have one. I mean, I'm sure a million different thoughts have run through your mind. What do you think happened?
I left. She was in the kitchen. She would have had whatever meetings that she had. Then she said she was meeting with you. But you know nothing about that, so I have no idea what the that is. What's his name? The other detective said that the cameras were turned off. That shouldn't happen. The only way that the cameras can be turned off is through the app. One of us has to hit the button. Internet outage will cause something that doesn't turn them off. It just interrupts the feed for a couple minutes. He said they were turned off. And one of them looks like it has something on it. So, in my brain, I'm thinking someone made a move against her. I don't know where the dog is. He's somewhere in the house. Really jumpy, skittish dog. She has a gun that she carries around. It's always in one of three places. Well, I guess four. It's either on her. She has I think 3 different holsters now. It's either on her. If she's in her office, it's on the filing cabinet directly behind her. If she's anywhere else on the first floor, it's on here, the high counter next to the plants. Always. It's either here, or if she's upstairs, it is sitting next to the headboard. So, in my brain, someone came to the door. It's Christmas time. I have Amazon packages being delivered every damn day. Someone came to the door. She doesn't usually answer the door. But she must have, because she must have. So in my brain, the story that I have is someone came to the door. Maybe she went outside to get a package, and they must have come in. And she's a fighter. She is strong. She would have fought. That's why I warned them when I was at the house, and I asked, did she get any shots off? She has a gun. She just went through the concealed carry class. She has an appointment to get her license. She had to have been surprised, but without a doubt, she fought.
But if she was just answering the door for a package, you think she would have been packing, answering the door? I mean, does she do that all the time?
Well, the Amazon drivers just drop something and go.
Right.
So, with or without a gun, she's a fighter.
Okay. And why do you say that? Have you guys fought before, or you just know that?
No.
Okay.
I know her.
Okay.
She refuses to be a victim. I don't. Gun, no gun, she will fight.
think either she was taken off guard or it was somebody familiar to her?
I don't know who familiar would have been. She had to have been taken off guard. Because the familiar would be, people don't just swing by the house. It just doesn't happen. I was at work. I assume Lars was at work. Her parents are retired, but nobody just swings by. Especially during work days. She doesn't like being interrupted during work. So people know not to just stop by, which is why it had to have been a surprise.
And the fact that the cameras were turned off, does that include your Ring doorbell or the doorbell camera? Or what's up with that?
From what
Detective Wade.
Thank you. From what Wade said, or he had my phone and was asking why they were off. And I said they shouldn't be. It looked like all of them were off. The doorbell had something on it.
And how do you know that?
Because I saw it on the camera.
Okay.
And then, so the point of the Google Home app is I can share it so that Christine has it, I have it, Ella has it, Lorelai has it. Everyone can pull up the cameras from anywhere.
I mean, who do you think killed her?
I think it's Kikman. I think it's Anthony.
Okay.
I'm sorry, that's the first time anyone said that sentence.
I'm sorry well, that's what happened, and that's why we're taking this so seriously.
I think it was Kikman. Anthony, I'm sorry. If not him, I have no other suggestion.
Daniel was convinced Anthony had to be the attacker, but Chris Steele's family brought information that flipped this entire case around, especially Chris Steele's mother and brother.
So she, if I understand correctly, they were having troubles in their marriage, and she...
Dad was in denial.
She was going to end the marriage, but stay.
She wanted to end the marriage, but she said she felt that she couldn't because Dan was too violent with the kids, and if they split custody, she worried about the kids with Dan.
Okay.
Because Dan could be more violent.
Did she ever, describe what that violence looked like?
I saw it a couple times where he would grab and pull, and I don't know. I never saw him hit. Although my granddaughter told me, my elder told me he did hit. Because I just remember one time telling her that that's not normal. And she was shocked to think that wasn't normal. But some parents do that, right? They say that's okay. I don't. In this day and age, I thought they don't do that anymore, but I guess it's. But anyway, and then there was one time where he'd get so angry, he'd jerk. He's pretty scary when he gets angry. I don't know the whole story, and I don't want to paint it as horrible. Because I don't know. I still go back and forth about Dan.
But you're a mom and you have maternal instincts, and
I have this, just a gut I can't shake with him.
What's that feeling telling you?
I can't shake this question. Is he the one that's been doing this with Anthony?
So, she said her, their marriage, they had separated. Mm-hmm. She was expressed, her frustrations with marriage and, frustration with Dan.
Yeah.
Just grieving to me about, he doesn't, thinks he can just do the dishes and call it good.
Yeah.
Just, complaining.
Normal marital stuff, yeah.
And I had asked her if she, over text, if she had, if she believed that it was Anthony. Mm-hmm. Because my friend who's a school teacher, we obviously gossip about the whole situation because it's a very tragic thing, my sister being tormented for 3 months and now
100%.
into today is not. But he works in the schools. He's like, some people just get on Facebook and they just torment people. Like that's what they like to do because people are just right.
Absolutely.
So I, posed that question to my sister as well. And so she was like, well, whenever I get the text or whatever, he'd always say this is Anthony from the beginning, and his email, it had been like the same way he'd contact her throughout, because it sounds like he had been periodically contacting her for over some time now.
Okay.
So she justified it that way, and that just like the way he talks, and then she was like, so, if it was Dan, then he's like, yeah, I don't know. I can pull up my text and see what she said exactly.
Yeah, that's fine.
But she didn't believe at the time that I was asking her that it was anybody but Anthony. She was fully convinced that it was Anthony.
Okay.
And she had no reason to suspect that it wasn't Anthony. And I don't know, my mom has always been like suspicious, and I just like don't know where that comes from.
Okay.
Can you elaborate on that? Like suspicious how or
My mom?
Yeah.
Suspicious. I don't know, because like the difficulty finding Anthony. Like, why is it so hard to find Anthony? Why can't there, cell phone records or IP stuff? So my mom was very frustrated with the inability to locate one person who is so frequently contacting my sister. Like, why is that such a difficult thing to do? So my mom had that frustration, and so I think her mind starts to wander towards like conspiracy type things, right? Of like, oh, maybe it's the husband, or maybe it's Dan, and I don't know. I don't see it there just because I don't know. Dan just seems so incapable of doing something like that to me.
Okay. Why do you say that?
I don't know. I talked to him at a birthday party, and him and I just hung out and talked for like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like very concerned about like getting his family together and talking about being vigilant but not paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying like, yeah, our marriage has been rocky, but it's still, she's still my wife and everything. So
So it didn't seem like he was coming from like a place of like annoyance or frustration with the
I
whole
never
situation.
got that sense.
Okay.
And I never bought into my mom. I don't know if Donna has that same conspiracy or something either. Maybe my dad does too. I have no idea. But But for me, I try to take things at wholesale, and I just didn't see that perspective. And at the time I was asking Christelle that, I think she didn't think that also. So you telling me that Donna got information from Christelle directly saying that she can't rule him out, I don't know if that's like a feedback loop of my mom constantly picking that scab.
Okay.
And like putting that in her head.
Okay.
Because at a point she was not of that mindset.
Okay.
From everything the police had gathered, this seemed really far-fetched. Anthony was still nowhere to be found, and Linda was just looking for answers. Anyone she could hold responsible for her daughter's death. But then came Chris Steele's father. After having a few days to process the loss, he was focused, ready to give any and all information he possibly could to bring justice to his daughter.
So there are 3 things that came to mind, and then pointed out a 4th thing to me, which I'll mention to you, but obviously I can't testify to because it'd be hearsay, because she's the one who has the information, and other people heard it. But so on the 3 things that I just wanted to mention, not knowing if I had already talked about it or not, because when I came in for the initial interview on the day of the murder, I can remember saying, I just don't know anything. I don't know what I can contribute. So I remember
very overwhelmed.
Yeah. So, but so the first item was, and I don't remember exact dates, obviously, but it was in the basic time frame of end of October, beginning of November.
Okay.
That's when Christelle called me and said, "Can I stop by and talk to you? Because I need to talk to you." And she came over and she was just visibly upset. And we sat down in the kitchen, and she said, "I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm being stalked." And the reason I'm bringing this up is that I have a feeling that part of the defense is going to be she either participated with the stalker or created the stalking situation, or that she was involved with a sex ad and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But she came over and told me, and like I said, just visibly shaken and said, I'm being stalked. And at first I go, well, what does that mean? Someone just hanging out in front of your house or whatever? And then she got into a little bit and says that, and it's vicious, nasty, perverted stuff I'm getting, and I'm actually afraid this guy's going to hurt me. And so it was obviously not something that she was participating in. And so I said, I'm trying to get more information. She goes, I think it's this guy Anthony that I knew when I was 18. And I go, yeah, I remember Anthony. A couple of pictures of Anthony when he's been over to the house.
Yeah.
And he's wanting to get back together, and he's doing his stuff, and now he's sending me these really pornographic, nasty messages. And I go, well, have you told the police about this? She says, yes, I have filed a police report, and they're taking it seriously. But I wanted you to know about it too. So because I'm afraid and I don't know what to do. And I go, well, if that's the case, we need to get you some protection, and I'll we'll set you up with being able to use a firearm and do some things like that, so that you at least feel like you can protect yourself. And so that was kind of the gist of that conversation was, and my point was that she was visibly upset about it. She clearly was not participating in this and was clearly a victim of it, and had no, and actually thought that
she was scared.
Anthony. Was stalking her, and she was afraid of him.
Yeah.
And when I told her, well, I'll let you use my little 22 Sig Sauer for right now, but then let's get you some range training and everything. That's when we started going to the range with that one.
Yeah, she said you guys were going frequently.
Yeah, she went several times. And the 22 obviously doesn't have a whole lot of stopping power. So. Chief Basher, who's the chief of police in Lafayette, he's a good friend of mine, and he came over and talked to her a little bit. And he goes, "You need a 9mm." So he says, "Get a 6 Sauer 9 and get the reflector sight and stuff." Yeah. That's when she went out, and Lars went with her, and they bought that. But anyway, so that was the first conversation I had with her when I became aware of how afraid she was, and that there was a stalking situation. And then the third, that was on Thanksgiving. She came over for Thanksgiving. You guys, I guess, had recommended that her and Dan split up or whatever, or somebody had recommended that to her. So she came over, and Dan went over to Peggy's house or something, I think. And after dinner, it was when she told me, she goes, and I think I pretty much decided I am going to proceed with a divorce from Dan. I go, oh, okay. She goes, so one of the things that really bothers me, said, is he just doesn't take this stalking thing seriously. It doesn't seem to bother him at all. I'm telling him that I'm afraid, and he's just blowing it off, and it's not bothering him, even though it appears that he's been threatened by this stalker too. It doesn't even faze him, and it doesn't bother him that I'm upset about it. So, and she said, we had marriage vows. He's supposed to be the one I can go to get help and everything, and he's just blowing this off like it's no big deal. And they were talking about what the situation was with this Anthony and stalking, and Chris Steele said to them, so I didn't hear it, but Donna was there, and her sister was there, and Steve West was there. They all heard her say this. That she said that at this point, I don't rule out that it's Dan. I'm afraid that Dan could have something to do with it, and I think Anthony could be Dan. So she had the inclination that Dan was in fact the stalker, and that there was no Anthony, and that was 2 days before her death.
Just when the questions were piling up from all directions, the detectives managed to track down Anthony, and what he had to say proved that everything Chris Steele thought to be true in her final days was nothing but an elaborate lie.
Hello?
Hello, Anthony?
Yes. How's it going? I'm Detective Martinez with the Broomfield Police. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing today?
Doing all right. So have you been? So I know you've been trying to reach out to Sergeant Fezenden over here in Broomfield. What has he filled you in on?
Pretty much nothing. Just that I'm not in trouble and I don't have to worry about. But see, I just want to know how this all happened because I haven't I know a little bit something about Christelle and her husband and stalking charge, and I haven't been to Colorado since 2016, so it's like I don't know how that could be possible, and that's all I know.
Yeah, so there was, again, you're not in any sort of trouble, but we're just trying to piece this together because your name's been thrown around as somebody who had been here recently. So we're just trying to show that, in fact, you've been in Utah this whole time.
I've been in Idaho the whole time since, and then I just moved to Utah in February.
Okay, and you moved to Utah in February of this year?
Yeah.
When's the last time you saw Christelle?
Last time I saw her was like 2000 when we broke up.
All right. So at some point, either myself or one of my partners will probably come out there and just chat with you just to completely follow up with you. But again, you're not in trouble or anything. Unfortunately, your name got thrown around as a potential suspect in this stalking case that we're working and investigating. But I don't believe it's you.
Thank you, because it's not me, I swear.
Yeah.
I mean, she was my very first girlfriend, so I think about her sometimes, but I have no idea where she lives. I never even tried to find where she lives.
Sure.
We talked a little bit in 2014, and that was it.
Okay, how did you guys have that talk?
We found each other on Facebook, and that was the last time I talked to her, but I haven't seen her since 2000
Got it.
when we broke up. So yeah, I have no idea I was so scared when the cops showed up at my house and said they were going to arrest me.
Yeah.
Because man, I have nobody to get me from Broomfield.
Yeah, I understand.
Daniel was still in the interview room, unaware of the detective's findings.
What if I told you that we had already spoken with Anthony and there's no way that he was in town today?
That I have nothing. And I'm terrified to bring my children home.
What are you terrified of?
If it wasn't him, who was it? I replaced all of our locks after the garage intruder. I'll do it again. I got the cameras. I don't know who else.
So there's a lot of moving parts to this investigation. There's a lot of things that we're doing and working on, and our entire investigations unit, I would say, fairly is working on this, right? Because like I said, we take this very seriously. This doesn't happen very often in Broomfield. And
lived here for a long time.
We take all crime very seriously, especially crime like this. So, one of the things that we really started looking into today in effort to find Anthony is what is it? The Gmail. What was the other?
Text now numbers.
The text now numbers and things like that. And
I don't know what text now is.
It's like an app that you can get fake phone numbers and contact people through Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's like a Wi-Fi only.
Spoofing. Gotcha.
Kinda.
Yeah, not really spoofing, but like if I wanted to text somebody, let's say I was buying something on Craigslist and I didn't want them to know my real phone number because I don't want them coming back to me or whatever, I would just get a text now account and it would, almost like a Google Voice, whatever, okay? So, the really weird part about looking into some of that stuff, because we have what we call exigent circumstances right now. You understand what that means? Like, so for us in our legal mumbo jumbo, that means that someone died, and we're looking into it very seriously. And so there's an sense of urgency in getting that information.
Gotcha.
Okay, so companies are more likely to cooperate with us if we're investigating that versus a harassment or a stalking or.
Okay.
Remember how we talked when I said my legal paperwork, it takes a while. But because somebody was murdered today, we have the ability to tell them that, and they will generally provide us with information immediately. That's what exigent circumstances means.
Okay.
Because we're trying to find the killer.
So some of that information that we've been able to receive today is a little bit, I don't know, concerning, I guess. The Gmail account that, and you can speak more specifically.
And that text now number we were talking about, the number that he initially texted Christine from. The Gmail account, the Kickman account that you guys initially received with the photo of you in it, and the phone number, those originated through their IP addresses at your office.
It doesn't make any sense. Well, he took the photo of me at my office.
Right. But both of those accounts originated from IP addresses that list back to your office.
I don't know what to do with that.
Well, tell us about the IP address. Do you know anything about the network or anything at your work? Or
I do money.
Yeah, I know, but like here, I believe me, I know nothing about tech stuff. That's why I keep looking to him to explain this crap. I still know
there are Wi-Fi access throughout the facility for employees, and there's public Wi-Fi access throughout the entire facility.
Okay.
CPHE guest, I think is what it is. And we literally post the passwords in every single meeting room.
Okay.
The board meeting I was running yesterday, I can literally pull up the video because I have to record it. And on a table in the back of the room, giant paper that says what the Wi-Fi is and what the password is.
Okay.
What's the IP address on your computer on your desk?
I couldn't tell you. Okay. It's managed by the state. I have no idea.
Gotcha. Because I hear we all have our own individual IP addresses to our individual computers, right? Mine's one address, hers is another address, and every other person has their individual addresses. So
I have no idea if we have person-specific or across the board. I'd say whichever one is cheaper we have.
Okay. Because right now we're working with the director to get all of the IP information to see what devices we're using that specific address during that time. So,
okay.
Because I guess the biggest concern is just the timing of everything, that it just doesn't quite make sense to have somebody create an account, take a photo, and then immediately send it off, and then the account is no longer being used.
None of this makes any sense. I've explained this to others in my family when bad things happen. You don't scatter. I want to see my children. Are we done here?
Well, that's up to you. I mean, I think we still have a lot of unanswered questions, but I mean, I'd like to know what happened this morning. I'd like to know Me too. What caused you to get so upset to hurt your wife? Because I believe that's what happened. I believe that you've been because there's no other logical explanation.
I want to know what happened to her. Did she fight? Did she get shots upon? Where was she in the house? I have Linda, who said they were doing CPR in the garage. And that's all I know. So tell me, did she fight? Did she get shots on? Where is she in the house?
We haven't been there to know. And there's only one person in this room that can tell us. Detective King Solomon and I have been here with you.
I think you know the answer to all those questions. And I think that the evidence will show us that, but we're not there to look at it because we're hopeful that you're going to tell us the truth about what happened, and finally show your wife that you truly do love her by coming clean on all this stuff.
And there has to be someone else. There has to be. You've asked me like, I can't even count how many times. Is there a boyfriend?
Why would the boyfriend kill her, though? Because if the boyfriend wanted to be with her, I don't know, I've seen a lot of crime drama. I know you don't. But if the boyfriend wanted to be with her, he would want to eliminate you. And I don't think they can mistake you for him.
No.
Or her. I mean, I don't think you guys look alike.
No.
So, I mean, why would a boyfriend who is spending time with, let's just use your theory, probably having sex with, probably good sex because it's a fair sex, probably hearing her talk about how she wants to divorce you and is making plans to divorce you, why in God's name would that boyfriend then come over to her house and kill her?
Please let me know when I can return to my house. I need to figure out what bag to do for a dog. I need to take care of my children. You have your theory. It is wrong. Please find the right one. When you're done, may I please have my phones and the keys to my car?
So the last thing that we're going to do before we get to that point is we need to process you for physical evidence, okay?
And is this the point where on whatever that checklist is, I say, I'll have an attorney?
Yeah, that's fine. But the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to process you for physical evidence.
I don't know what that means.
Let me explain it, okay? But you're trying to rush out of here, and we still have about 15 minutes together, so we can take care of all of that stuff, okay? So we need to collect your clothes, we need to take the buccal swab sample that we talked about earlier. And before we get out of here, we need to take overall photos and collect your clothes.
Because of the lack of concrete evidence, Daniel couldn't be arrested. He was processed for physical evidence, but he was free to go home. But that freedom was short-lived. Within the next 72 hours, detectives received irrefutable proof that all the emails, the text accounts, and everything originated from Daniel's office. From his computer and phone. Christelle never had a stalker. It was always Daniel.
Go, 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 go. Go, go, go.
Show us your hands! Show us your hands!
Hands on your face! Hands on your face! Hands on your face! Your hands on your face!
Under arrest. call custody. Yeah. Oh, here? We got your truck?
What is that? Hey, Dan. Do you want me to tell your kids that you killed their mother, or do you want somebody else to? Okay. All right. Good luck.
Daniel Krug pleaded not guilty to all charges, maintaining his innocence throughout the investigation and trial. Despite his denial, a jury in Broomfield County found him guilty on all counts after evidence showed he posed as his wife's ex-boyfriend to harass and terrorize her before killing her in their garage. He thought he could scare Chris Steele from the stalker and push her to love him again. But it didn't work, and he couldn't bear the thought of Chris Steele leaving him. From reading the books Detective Martinez recommended to getting a weapon and cameras, Chris Steele did everything she could to not be the victim, but Daniel still got to her. On April 18, 2025, Daniel Krug was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 9.5 years for the stalking and impersonation charges. He will spend the rest of his life behind bars.